Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to be speaking on strategic intent. This is how you can get more out of your days by doing less, by being more efficient. So are you acting with strategic intent? If you go through life aimlessly, going with the flow and not creating a sort of plan, you will end up lost. We have massive potential to make the world a better place. And this is rooted in having an overflowing cup of love that you can share with others. To create abundance, you must be detailed in how you go about your days. You'll benefit from thinking, contemplating on the possible hiccups and errors that you will go through, foreseeing how you might tend to sabotage yourself. Do you want to look back at your life and be proud of what you've done and be able to say, yeah, I lived well? It's rooted in clear priorities. The big picture outcome that I'm aiming at is to build a life that is fulfilling and meaningful. See, humans do need to prioritize their own lives before getting wrapped up in helping others, because we can only give what we have for ourselves. Tough part is that most people have their big picture priorities so out of line. The more we value things out of our control, the less control we have. Marcus Aurelius. I love that quote, and it's absolutely true. We need to stop outsourcing our emotions and really pay attention to the actions that we can take each day that are going to raise our energy that has no downside. Most people place their attention on that which they can't control, and this transpires into a life filled with unnecessary worry. I'm aiming to create meaning through what I do control, the daily actions, thoughts, and energy levels. The priority is clear: become the best version of myself so that I can share that with the world and help others. A few examples of the wrong priorities: chasing status, climbing the corporate ladder, partying, chasing love, consuming the wrong things for pleasure, and choosing money and materialistic things over purpose. See, you definitely need money, and I am a huge advocate for generating wealth and fulfilling your materialistic needs. But at the same time, there must be a balance between physical and practical success and deeper emotional understanding combined with spiritual understanding. It will benefit you to have a bigger reason for becoming financially free, an idea of how you're going to use this tool that wealth is to improve the world, to help humanity in the big picture. When you tie what you're doing to a huge goal, that is inspiring and it's powerful. You're going to have so much more success in pursuing this goal if it's tied to something meaningful. So you want to hold a 10,000 hour vision, but you won't be able to execute on those 10,000 hours if the goal isn't important enough. So choose something like Bruce Lee says: aim high, even if you miss, recoup, rather than aiming low and hitting your target. Aiming high. When you build intentionally day after day, results are inevitable. And I don't want to imply they will come quickly. You will have many challenges. This game is full of road bumps, and this is about who you become in the process. I know we think about the destination, but I promise you, you're going to become such a better and more peaceful human, stronger, confident, less anxiety, maybe no anxiety eventually. This takes time, it takes persistence, it takes curiosity and a unwilling manner to give up, meaning you will never give up. That's what I was trying to phrase. The greatest people invest years into who they become. Einstein says he didn't fail, he found 10,000 ways that don't work. See, use that reframe. Don't view road bumps as failure. Ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Identify a purpose behind each action, or else they will not be sustainable and you will give up. I don't want you to give up. And I don't mean some shallow, simple, materialistic purpose. It's okay to start like that, but be sure to adapt your reasoning as you grow and evolve. My whole journey started to materialistic goals: girls, cars, money. That's all I really cared about. And I made sure to self-reflect as I went. Eventually, those materialistic aims became much less important to me. I still will achieve those things, but that's not why I'm doing what I'm doing. What's so crucial is to hold a deep desire within to continuously improve and seek your true potential. Who knows how great you can be? I don't know. You are the only one who's capable of figuring this out. So go find out. Watch out for self-imposed limitations. When you begin to craft your purpose, you will have feelings of doubt, and that's okay. Understand that this doubt is being created by your mind, that those limits are imaginary, they're not real. Example, the 3-minute mile. So many humans failed at that 3-minute mile until one man broke it. And then after that, so many others broke it. They were imposing self-imposed limiting beliefs. So you got to smash those. I know it's not an easy task, but being aware of the fact that the mind creates these beliefs, that's the first step. So start with the top-down approach. With a big picture vision built, you need to break that big picture into daily actions that you will be able to execute consistently. And I'm going to be releasing my course, which touches deeply on this topic in the next 3 weeks. And you'll benefit so much from going through that course. It will give you the frameworks so you can implement the executions that need to be accomplished each day. See, these frameworks, it took me thousands of hours to stumble upon. And had I known them earlier, I would be further along. But that's why I made the course, because hey, if I could save you thousands of hours, that makes me feel good. Having a clear vision and a purpose is at the top. Now we break that down into monthly, weekly, and daily goals, tasks that will be executed. A giant piece to this is learning how to be alone. You can't do deep work with a room full of acquaintances. My growth skyrocketed when I went from spending daily time with friends to every once in a while. And honestly, the quality of the friendships has blossomed so much. I definitely cut off a bunch of acquaintances, but the few friends that I stuck with, we have great quality relationships now. So it's priceless to be doing work that you enjoy on a daily basis. And this work makes you lose track of time. It will not begin this way, my friends, and that's okay. I need you to accept that you will suck at the beginning. And that's just how greatness is initiated. It's taking the leap of faith, betting on yourself, admitting that you know you don't know, and pursuing growth. That's the best way to sum it up. You have clarity on the big picture, but what you do each day, we need to have clarity on the big picture, but we need to be executing on a daily basis to move forward. So what are you doing each day to get you closer to where you want to be? Most importantly, we have to cut out distractions. The friends, the bar, the junk food, the entertainment, the numbing vices and substances, alcohol, processed food, this stuff, it must go. Yes, it might be a rude awakening if you are living aimlessly, and I'm not saying you have to become a saint immediately, but if you're serious about your future and really want to take advantage of the blessing that this life is, you're going to have to prioritize building yourself. And now that you've cleared up some time to invest in yourself, to do focused work, we really need to learn the best way to do this work. And the number one method is to use this Pomodoro system where you are doing nothing but that task for 25 minutes or 50 minutes or 75 minutes, then you take a break. So you go from doing really focused, intense, mind-powering work, and then you take a break, which could be something like meditating for 15 minutes, going and having your meal, or playing with your dogs, vacuuming. Go from a real focus session to doing more of basic work like folding laundry. You get my point. So your lens that you are perceiving life through, that matters. It's crucial that you work to build your level of awareness as you develop yourself so that you're mindful and you can catch yourself prior to making bad decisions. I love the idea that a wise person only has to make a mistake once, twice, a few times before really learning from it. And there will be some mistakes that you don't even have to make. For example, I looked at my father and noticed that he consumed so much alcohol, pharmaceutical pills, and that led him down a mindless route where his mind was just destroyed. So what do? I stay away from pharmaceuticals. I look for natural remedies that are proven, that work for me. I use trial and error. I pay attention to how I feel. I don't consume alcohol because that stuff is poison for your mind. And same thing goes with junk food, porn, a lot of these distractions that entertainment is, it's poison for your mind. So becoming aware of that is the first step. But on the other hand, some mistakes you will have to make yourself before learning the lesson. And there's a lot of mistakes that I have made multiple times. I still make mistakes. And, as long as we're looking to grow, trying to be aware of that, that's what it's all about. Think about the quality of your thoughts, your environment, your actions, and set the boundaries when it comes to guarding and protecting your energy. See, if you are highly aware, you will notice how certain aspects of life affect you. And when you put quality people around you that help you grow, this will lead to increased quality of thoughts, which then leads you to taking the right actions. See, this is all interconnected. Life is this beautiful web, and there's nothing in this planet that isn't connected. This is big picture thinking. And if you leave someone feeling good, there's a chance they might ripple, they might spread that goodness to others and so on. See, this goes both ways. It goes for the negative and the positive. So choose to surround yourself with people who leave you feeling good. Attention to details. The degree of strategic intent that you bring each day will determine how your life unfolds. To carry on aimlessly, distracted, and confused, that will generate a future just like that. If you want to create a great future, it starts with the work that you do right now, today. We must identify what our actual steps are every day. You want to create a vision that is tightly linked to having purpose. Something that humans need, something fulfilling in order to persist. It's helpful to set flexible and loose goals. Don't be so sure that you know exactly how your life should unfold. Feel with your gut, your intuition. The biggest reason I can continue my mission every day is because it feels right. What I mean is, sure, I have inner resistance at times. I definitely have self-doubt. But when I have the opportunity to do a podcast, every time I finish the conversation with a good individual, which I only send that request to great people, I am so charged. So it's very important to learn how to identify what type of personalities and people do you want to surround yourself with. And this feeling I get from the podcast is different than instant pleasure because I'm spending time thinking. It's healthy. My mind is working and there is no downside to it. So look for areas of your life that creates feelings of goodness that are lasting, that are void of downside. See, life is always changing. And if you approach each day with intention, aiming to grow, you are preparing yourself for the inevitable changes that life will throw at you. See, storms come no matter what you do, and the outcome is dependent upon if you stay ready for these storms or do you let them surprise you unprepared. Sit and think deeply about the future. If you don't create a detailed life by design, you're gonna get something you don't want. So make that decision. There's a fine line. Planning should be based, not overly rigid and specific. Have general plans, but don't assume you know exactly what you need. Sometimes what you want and you need is completely different. And that's a deep idea to accept. It took me a while to kind of contemplate and understand that. It's a unique balance between having faith in the outcome of the work that you do each day, all while listening to your gut feelings, not allowing societal programming to make you choose the average route. So some practical steps. The quality of the questions you ask leads to the quality of your life. So you change the frame that you look through by improving how you ask questions. Here's an example. Rather than why do I feel horrible, you can ask, what can I do today to feel better? Two completely different answers will be derived from those different questions. One leads to negative, skewed answers, while the other will lead you to something actionable, something positive that you could do right now. So that's just a great example. And I want you to really focus on asking better questions. And along with asking better questions, we need to generate clarity. So you do this by really thinking about what you do want and what you don't want in your future. It's helped me so much to get clear on what to stay away from. So try listening to a podcast, listening to YouTube creators that are wise, taking notes while listening using either your notes app or I love Obsidian on the computer. You can download that platform and do this for an hour a day. You could do it for more, but I guarantee you'll start learning a lot and feeling better about yourself. And understand, there's going to be this phase where you're purely learning and not taking too much action. That's okay. But what I need you to get is that phase is a season. You cannot stay in that area where you're just learning, and not taking any action. I stayed in that phase for too long, and at the same time, it's okay because I'm way out of it now, but I'd love if you didn't have to go through that extended phase like I did. So I'm just trying to, the big picture that I'm looking to do for you guys is to save you time. And how do we do that? By pouring what took me a long time to learn into quicker videos. So you have this value, this wisdom at your fingertips at a better time frame. So test out a daily 5-minute meditation. You could start with a guided meditation. I have benefited so much from this simple breathing practice. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'll give you a practical example right now. So what you do is on the inhale, you can say, grab a 2-syllable word. And you could, for me, mine is rue me. So I'm like thinking rue on the inhale and thinking me on the exhale. So rue me. And you do that, that's a great way to keep your mind calm during your meditation. Because until I started using that little 2-syllable word, my thoughts would roam. And at the same time, it's completely okay and normal for your thoughts to roam during meditation. But that trick has helped me so much. And I also use that during my workouts. Instead of counting reps, rue me. So that's just a little subtle trick that I think will help you. It's helped me a lot. Distance yourself from people who are holding you back. That's self-explanatory. You have to identify those individuals and just spend as little time as possible around them. Test out changing your wake-up time. This has been a huge hack for me. Slowly, I went from 6 a.m. Right now I'm at 2:55. I'm going to keep it at 2:55. I ain't going earlier, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And maybe you will, maybe you won't, but test it out. The reason it's so beneficial is it gives me so many hours in the morning where I can work in peace and quiet and just feel as if I'm getting a great head start on my day. Consume your body weight in grams of protein from grass-finished animal protein. So beef, lamb, shrimp, eggs, turkey, just make sure that it is simple and not grain fed. And if you're eating something like chicken thighs, chickens cannot just eat grass, but if they're raised on a free pasture, they eat bugs and grass. So that's great. You want to avoid the grain fed animal protein. That stuff is not too good for you. I would say it's better than horrible processed food, but it's not the highest quality you can get. So if you're going from eating McDonald's to grain fed, hey, that's an upgrade. But at the same time, understand that you can improve if you're at that grain fed stage right now. And the thesis behind this is what you put in, that's what you get out. This is how life works. If you consume horrible food, horrible content, and you're going to put that out into the world. So you got to become very aware, very conscious of how your friends, your environment, your intake is affecting you, because it is affecting you. So those actionable tips are how I began to strengthen my mind over time. And of course, there's a lot more that I will share with you as time goes. I'm just trying my best to put value into these videos in a short, compact period. And I don't want you to get overwhelmed. It's not easy to learn on this journey and to enjoy it, but it's so important to focus on doing just that. We want to enjoy the journey and the process. Don't think so much about the destination. Think about who you're becoming every day by doing the right actions, and recognize what your purpose for this whole thing is. You need a clear, strong purpose. And that is the most important part about learning. I know money and status are very shiny objects, but what's most important, what's 10 times more valuable, is having a peaceful state of being. So now that you have this idea of how to be strategic in the way that you go about your days, you know the quality of your questions is a giant piece to this. Now do me a favor. If you're wearing any sort of bracelet, for me, it's like these. Every time that you see the bracelet, think about this question. What is my life purpose? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And I want you to ask this question every time you see the bracelet over the next week. And this is not a question that you just answer once. It's very deep, and you could spend thousands of hours thinking about it, and it is worth the pondering. So also, why is my purpose important? Identify the purpose and the reasoning behind that being your purpose, and go back and forth between those and just think and think. This will help you get some clarity. Don't simply believe me. Test everything I say out and see if it applies to your personal experiences, because who knows, I could be lying to you. I'm sharing my personal experiences with you. But my point is, I want you to think critically. I want you to be open, but at the same time, make sure that it is proven with your personal experience. See, nothing is more real than your personal experience. So pay attention to that. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to help me out, please drop a quick Spotify rating if you're on the podcast, whatever stars you think. It takes 5 seconds. I appreciate you. And on YouTube, drop a like if you want to share your thoughts. I'd appreciate that in the comments. And share it with a close friend, not an acquaintance, but one of your real buds who will appreciate this. Because if you're listening, I'm sure that you're aiming up. And if you're close buds, they're aiming up too. So have a great day. Until next time.